Hello, Manbir.
Hi Shiva, good morning.
Good morning. It's such a pleasure to have you with me on Soul Brews with Sheba. Welcome to Coffee and Soul, and thank you so much for making the time.
Thank you so much. My pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's an absolute pleasure, Manbir. Manbir, do you have a cup of coffee or tea ready with you?
Yes, tea. I'm quite an Indian tea person. So this is
Okay.
my cup of tea. I live
So
by tea.
you live by tea. Yeah. So here's to life, Manbir, and welcome to the show.
Yes.
So
Thank you
lovely
so
to have
much.
you here. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers. Ah, yes, the first sip. I think, when you talk about the fact that you were a tea person, I grew up in the tea estates in Assam, but when I moved south, I really became focused on coffee. So it's very interesting. But before we get into more conversations around, may I ask you to just hold your cup of tea in your hands?
Yeah, sure.
And if you can just nestle it between your palms, lean back and relax. Ah, yeah, Manveer. Let the warmth seep in into your hands. Yeah, breathe and relax. Tell me if something comes up for you. Anything that you might see or hear, and whenever you're ready, just continue to relax and be.
So what comes up for me is I see sun actually.
Mm, mm,
So warmth and light of sun.
mhm,
So kind of sun which is not sharp and piercing. It's
mm,
rather warm and light is soothing.
mm.
So, and I'm soaking in that sun.
Beautiful.
That's what I see actually as an
That's,
image.
that's beautiful, Manbir. You can open your eyes whenever you're ready. Yeah.
Thank you.
Lovely. What does this kind of a sun, the mellowness of the sun, as you were talking, what does it mean for you? What does it do to you?
I'm still holding that cup actually. I'm still feeling that
Mm.
actually.
Be
So
there as
what
long.
does it?
Be
Yeah.
there as long as you need to.
So I think it resonates with me at a lot of levels, Shiba actually.
Mm,
One is when I say warmth, it's love.
mm,
The word love is very close to my heart.
mm,
So, and I use that word a lot.
mm,
So that's what it means to me. And another thing which, when I talk about sun, is optimism.
mm.
I'm a die-hard optimistic person.
How lovely. Mm,
So, so I guess, when I was in that state of feeling that warmth, it was combination of love and optimism.
mm, mm.
Yeah, that's the space. I think that space is in.
That's beautiful. You also reflected on the fact that the sun is not strong or sharp or anything. It's
Yeah,
warm and soothing, and I think
yeah.
you elucidated the difference between that very. It was very interesting.
Yeah, because when I was going deeper into that state
Mm,
and I looked up and saw the sun, and
mm,
it kind of felt like, is it harsh? Then that thought came, no, it's not that harsh, moment of maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon when sun is really, really sharp.
mm,
It's like morning sun, which
mm,
is warm, which is not very sharp.
mm. Yes. That's beautiful. And especially in our Indian summers, we have a lot of the sharp
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
this,
After 11 o'clock, it's
yeah,
very sharp.
yeah, I know. No, that was beautiful, Manbir. Thank you so much for sharing it and for, yeah,
Same.
breathe into it. Breathe into it. You need to. And this brings me very nicely to the next, my next question. Looking at love and this warmth and building up from there. Tell me about your journey, your life. How has it been? What has been the journey like? What have been some of your ups and some of your low points?
Hmm.
Key learnings. The idea is really to keep looking at what have been some of the defining moments, the key learnings. How did you move? Just share that with me and the people who will be viewing this conversation as well.
So I came to my parents' life after 6 years of the marriage, and you can understand, how desperately they wanted a child at that point of time. So I guess the journey starts from there. I have been, that wanted kind of a, eldest child in the house, and have been very close to my father actually.
Mm,
um, have a very deep relationship, I think, soul to soul relationship with him.
mm,
And he has been one of my heroes of life till now.
mm.
I still look up to him for many things, actually speaking. Um, so that's how my journey started. Grew up in Punjab, got educated there in Amritsar, got married very early.
Mhm.
So this
How old were you, Panbir?
Okay, so that's so I was 23 when I got
So,
married.
yeah.
So born and brought up in Amritsar. Started my job immediately after my graduation at 19 years.
Mm.
So I was only 19 when I started
Wow.
working. And so before that marriage, I think my life was um, all good things in life types, in a family
Mm,
which is very loving family, parents which are very caring, and at the same time, I would say protect lot of protection.
mm,
It was a very protected environment, a nuclear family and protected environment. So and suddenly I get married, and it was an arranged marriage, and
mm,
I come to Delhi. So
mm,
coming from smaller city to Delhi, and I was working in a bank at that point of time. So I immediately got transferred to a branch here. So started working in here.
mm.
So this is like a kid who get exposed to the real life.
Yeah.
Many people get that exposure when they go to hostels and all that, and I have never been to hostel. So
Mm,
I think this was my first exposure to real life on the floor.
mm, mm,
So it was one of the defining moments, and I have a lot of them. So this was really one of them.
mm,
I think Delhi was a cultural shock to me for many things. It was not that internet era I'm talking about. I'm
mm,
talking about
mm.
99.
Yeah.
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 So it was not the internet era. So,
Mm,
so immediately you have to perform at work
mm.
within 15 days or 20 days of my marriage. I was at work actually. So, you have to perform. I was leading retail operations in a bank, in a branch. So, so a lot of expectation, how to talk to your customer. Their Delhi customers were very, very
Mm,
different than the Punjab customers. We were
mm,
very close knit kind of a banking environment there, and here people were very professional.
mm,
Things are very, very different here.
mm, mm,
So I guess a lot of things I learned there, lot of things. So yeah, that's how my journey in the metro city started, and I got my only child Ishnoor, my son. So
yes, of
I
course.
got him again very early. So it's 13 months of my marriage. So we got him again. That was another defining moment of my life, because here I was a child around almost 1 year back,
Mhm.
and totally pampered and protected by parents, and suddenly now I'm on my own, and now I have a life to take care.
Yes, my God, huge transition. Huge
Yeah, so
transition.
those transition happen, that may look like, I'm making it up or it looks filmy, but for my life, who somebody who didn't see a child at home, and it was a big, big thing for me.
Mm, mm,
So it was a good feeling to be mother,
mm,
but it was not a dramatic Bollywood kind of a feeling. Oh my God, I'm kind of totally full of mamta now, that
mm,
motherlyhood, and
mm,
no, nothing like that
mm,
happened.
mm,
And there was a moment I was doubting my capabilities. It was like,
mm.
in all Bollywood movies, it shows that when you have a child, you
Yeah,
suddenly have that kind of feelings,
yeah.
but nothing like that happened.
Mm,
So here there's an ambitious woman in me who was worrying about career.
of course.
There's another practical side of me who was worrying about how to take care of this life. What's
Mm,
going to happen now?
Mm.
So
Mm.
we didn't know how to hold him and all that. All that's the typical stuff. So yeah, so he definitely brought in a lot of joy for us as a couple, but at the same time, I think a lot of responsibilities happened at that point of time,
Mm.
and a lot of inner shaking up happened.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
A lot of inner shaking up happened at that point
Mm.
of time.
Mm.
One thing which I guess as a society and I was trained on was that attaching our identity to the work
Mm.
do. And I think I did that, Shiba, for long time.
Mm.
So if I was a branch manager, that is who I was.
Mm.
So then I started attaching my identity to my relationships,
All right.
being a mother, being a
Mm.
wife.
Mm.
I was still doing that. Now
Mm.
I'm talking about all this in hindsight, actually.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So I left my job for some time, a couple of months, and
Okay.
realized that sat at home, mom, but realized that was not was not satisfied with life.
Sure. Sure.
That brings me to another point that I always recognized my emotions,
Mm.
even before knowing these words as a coach and whatever I'm doing right now. I
Mm.
think I was always in that space where I recognize that I'm not happy here.
Mm. 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 Mm.
I was not kind of putting it away, those feelings, not putting it under the carpet. No,
Mm.
I was really upset.
Mm.
I'll
Mm.
acknowledge that I
Mm.
was really upset that I'm
Mm.
not happy.
Mm.
Then me and my husband sat together, we discussed, and I decided that I'll start my working again, and
Mm.
we'll put him in daycare. So that's how I started working
So
again.
how long did you take this? How long was this
Almost
period?
8 months, 8 to 9 months.
Yeah.
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 So I started working with that's how my second phase of my career started in fintech industry.
Mm.
So there was an small company who required somebody from banking experience for banking implementation, banking product implementations.
Mm.
And my second phase of career, and I would say the best, maybe the better than the banking phase. One of the really really good phases of my career started at that point of time.
Mm.
So these were a couple of defining moments, and then I worked in fintech for a long time, moved cities, have stayed in Bangalore, Mumbai, so and yeah, so I mean the attachment to my identity towards my work and my relationship carried on.
Mm.
So and with my optimism, I'm just bringing in that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that becomes a challenge also sometime, because I wanted to be the best mother. I wanted to be the best employee. I wanted to be the best wife, and I think I didn't think about myself at that point of time for
Mm.
a lot many years, and kind of trying to balance.
Mm.
Typically, how every women I think go through that. So did that balancing act for many years, and now my son is in college, and that was another. I'm just forwarding it to
Mm.
the current moment. Couple of years back when he started his college, that was another very very precious moment in my life, because that again shook me up,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
because I was working,
Mm.
but I think in my mind, majority of my identity was kind of attached to my figure as his mother.
Mm.
And
Mm.
suddenly he leaves for college,
Mm.
and I'm kind of thinking about who am I.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
not that I'm not working and I have a lot of free time, no,
Mm.
but still inside me, it's all
Mm.
inside story.
Mm.
My days are equally busy,
Mm.
but inside I really felt again that shaking up.
Mm.
And I think that those few months has been very very reflective journey for me. A
Mm.
lot of people, I'm in gratitude to a lot of people who supported me in that time, and helped me sail through that so-called difficult time, because I was in emotional turbulent
Sure.
stage.
Sure. Sure.
So, and that's where I realized this one thing, that I'm attaching a lot of my identity to my roles.
Mm. Mm.
I won't say that I'm I've stopped doing that, but I
Mm.
think a lot of awareness has come on that particular front. And now I see myself when I don't do it and when I do it.
Well, that's beautiful. When you don't attach yourself to any of your identities, and you've got
Yeah.
many, you're an accomplished coach, you're an author, you've written some phenomenal books, you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a parent to your a child to your parents, taking care of them. When all this falls away, who is Manveer?
The first word is explorer.
Mm, mm,
That's the word which comes to mind immediately.
mm.
Explorer and love are two words which is come. I don't know how do I define love and all that, but
That's all right, you don't
yeah,
need
but explorer is, and also the third, I think it's part of explorer only, the doer. I'm
to.
quite of a doer.
Mm,
So when other people around my inner circle will kind of say, okay, we can't do anything here and blah blah blah, so I think I'll pick up all the whatever is available at that point of time and start working on things,
mm, mm,
whether they are on personal front or professional front.
mm.
So so I guess in that particular stage, I think I'm an explorer, doer, yeah. And
And
somebody, why I'm saying love is somebody who expects love and
gives
would
love.
like to give love also. Yeah.
Yeah, you can be a lover of life, lover of
Yeah.
beauty, lover of
Yeah.
people. How do
Yeah.
you knit these three things together to make a sentence? Explorer, doer,
Hmm. Hmm.
lover, love. How do you define? How do you?
I'm an explorer who do things with love.
Wow,
I love it.
wow! Isn't that beautiful? That's so powerful, Manveer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. That's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you also spend some time in writing. You've written two books, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about that. How did that happen for you? What made
Hmm.
you become an author?
So I started practicing coaching almost 10 years back.
Yeah.
So in 2010, I left 2010, end of 2010, I left my corporate career. And start of 2011 is where I started on my own. Um, uh, in the
And what
practicing,
drove you to coaching before I get into
yeah, yeah. um, See, in I think in corporate careers, you reach sometime a place where you think that you have done enough and nothing new is coming up. That is one. It's a mix of thing. Maybe the intersection of that came out as a coaching. But one was that I have done enough of work and I'm not doing anything new here now.
Mm,
Although I loved my job at that point of time,
mm,
I loved working in the role where I was in. And the second was, at that point of time, I got introduced to. I come from business side, Shiba.
mm,
I don't come from HR side.
mm,
So typical business side, business analysis, RFPs, pre-sales, a lot of those things I've done. And here in the role, in the last organization where I worked as an employee, full-time employee, so I got exposed to behavioral stuff, in the role which I was working on, competency frameworks
mhm,
and building those competency frameworks, success plans. I got intrigued. So this kind of started attracting me.
mm,
I didn't know about coaching at that point of time. So and the third, I don't know, maybe I think that we were going through that era, and there's a lot of entrepreneurship buzz was
mm,
going on.
mm,
So that was a time when doing something on our own was kind of becoming like everybody was talking about that.
mm, mm,
So I think intersection of those three things, I thought I'm at a stage where I can I can pack my bags and explore something new.
mm, mm,
So one thing, as I said, I'm a diehard optimistic, and
mm.
which is sometimes a challenge also. Um, one thing is there in all my exploring so-called ventures is when I decide something, then I don't look back at that point of time. then I kind of, make it happen. I struggle and make it happen. I
Mm.
sail through that particular time. So I didn't know about coaching, and I thought I want to do something with, fulfillment at work, happiness at work, development at work. Those were the words at
Mm, mm, mm,
my in my vocabulary.
mm,
So when I left my job, I kind of started exploring. I started working on employee engagement programs.
mm, mm,
So, and during those time, I came across the word coaching. I understood more. I went through my certificate, courses, not certifications that time, but courses, and I loved it. I
mm,
enjoyed it so much. I continued coaching as one of the offerings at that point of time. I was doing a lot of employee engagement programs. Had alliance with people like ergonomical physiotherapist, meditation people. So a
mm.
lot of things I was doing for corporates. My first client for engagement programs were Dell actually. So so
Okay.
that was yeah. So it was good experience. But somehow the more I did coaching, the more I loved it.
Mm,
It just felt inside so at home while doing coaching
mm.
that I thought I found my love.
Yeah.
So so I kind of left doing engagement programs because a lot of operational stuff was involved in
Mm,
doing employee engagement programs. So started digging deep into coaching, and that's how my full-time coaching journey started, almost
mm,
10 years back now.
mm,
Yeah. And coming back to books, in my journey as a coach, I felt not everyone can hire a coach.
mm,
You know, not everyone has access or have resources to a coach. At the same time, a lot of gyan is available, a lot of knowledge is available.
mm,
So I always feel that a lot of knowledge is available. People have an intention to grow. People have an intention to do good to themselves, to their teams, to the organization.
mm,
But there is a gap.
mm,
So I may not be able to define that gap as of now also,
mm,
but my intention always is to fulfill that gap also. There
mm,
is an intention, but still the impact is not what people intend for. So there
mm,
is a gap.
mm,
And at the same time, a lot of knowledge is there. It's
mm,
flowing there, free flowing
mm,
there.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
my books come from that intention to bridge that gap.
mm.
And how can I make it more? So as I said, that's my strength. Doing is my strength. So if you look at my books, they're, it's more from that, you can call it frameworks and all that stuff, but they're more from what can you do today?
So, what is doable? Your focus is on what is doable.
What is doable? What is actionable? Inspiration, of course, inspiration 15%,
Mm,
but then taking action is 85%
mm.
of the component of my book. That's how I define, and I mean that's how my intention is when I write
Sure,
books.
sure. That's fabulous. And your last book was how to get your next promotion, right? I may not have got the
Yeah,
words right, but
the
that's
title is Get Your Next Promotion.
get your next
Mm,
promotion.
yeah, yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
And now you're doing a lot of work around that as well, isn't it? I mean,
So, uh, my work is majorly executive coaching,
mm,
but this book was written for mid-management people who are looking to become, who are wanting to become executives,
mm,
but feel stuck. So, and they know all good things, what is required.
mm, mm.
So that's the gap, I wanted to bridge.
Absolutely, and I think that there's such a need for that, and I'm sure a lot of people are finding that space that you're filling up very useful for them.
Thank you.
So, Manbir, coming back, I'm sure there are a whole lot of other things you want to do in the course of life as you explore doing with love. I'm
Loved
sure
it.
there are many things that are
Mhm.
going to come up for you as your next steps now.
Yeah.
If I was to ask you what have been some of the key you spoke about your dad, some key influences in your life or influencers.
So very difficult to pinpoint
Mm,
couple of them. I think, as I said, my dad has been one of the
mm,
biggest influence on me. Um, my son, I would say, you know,
What about Ishnur? What about your son? What is it that he brings out in
he, so, as a coach, one of the things we required is to be non-judgmental.
you?
And he taught me
Mm,
over so many years, so he is my coach at home, actually speaking. So he'll say that, many occasions, if something happens, Mama, is it coming from your judgment? I mean, the way he asks questions sometimes is like, really
mm, mm,
connect you to your deeper self.
mm.
And yeah, so I think he has been one of the big influences and teachers in my life, I would say.
Sure.
So, um, I mean, whenever, I have been in my job also, if I had a tough day at work or something with my boss or colleague, so I used to discuss with him when he was younger. So, if he don't have anything to say, he'll make me feel loved. He have always made me feel loved at that point of time. I think that's what I needed at that point of time.
Mm,
So his capability to give love unconditionally
mm,
is really, really something to learn, which
mm,
I think, which I still have lots to learn from him on that front.
mm,
He
mm,
just gives unconditionally.
mm, mm,
So yeah, I think that in all his relationships, so he has been a big teacher,
mm,
on that front. And a lot of other people actually. So one of the things, which I always say that, I think there's there's a there's a possibility to learn from everyone, you know. So I mean, all my relationships, all my things, it's not like, I don't have arguments with people, that, I don't have, everything is there.
mm,
But at the same time, I guess, I my habit is to reflect on what can I learn from this person.
mm,
So that has gone in my habit.
mm,
So I always look forward to what can I learn. And that's where exploring also comes in, Shiba,
mm, mm,
because my exploring strength
mm,
tells me that, this is where you can explore here.
mm, mm,
So I mean, I have there are a lot of people who have touched my life. I would have loved to name few of my bosses, so who have really, really, one of them, I really admire is a lady called Sujata Mohan. She was my boss in iFlex in Mumbai. So she really, I mean, in her own way, she brought out my best in those times when I was struggling to work with I think around 4 year child and all that, balancing home and kind of in those kind of room where you are the only women and with 90 men or
mm,
60 men. So that kind of typical fintech environments, banking product implementation environments. I guess, she's supported as a role model, and also in her verbal feedbacks and in the way she supported. So really, really has inspired me on multiple ways, I would say. Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so wonderful to look back and give gratitude to the people
Yeah.
who have built us, little by
Yeah.
little, in
Yeah.
ways that perhaps unfold for us later
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
life, and when we look back. And
Yeah.
is there a adage you live by, or like a metaphor for life that you have that has stood you through time? Every time the chips are down, there's something you fall back on.
Hmm. Let me let me think about
Yeah,
that.
be with it. There's no rush, as you can see.
See, somehow I relate a lot to metaphor of butterfly
Mm,
for me.
mm,
So I guess, the things which I'm mentioning: explorer, love, that warmth. I don't know, somehow I see all those things in a butterfly. Um, yeah, I mean that I relate a lot to butterfly actually as a metaphor of my life.
mm. And so, what does this metaphor mean for you? As a butterfly, are you talking about it turning from a caterpillar to a butterfly, or a butterfly per se? What? Talk
Butterfly per se, actually
a little
speaking,
more.
butterfly per se. I think, I'm relating it now to the word called choices,
Mm,
explorer and choices also. So butterfly has a choice and freedom at the same time,
mm,
and she balances that, the choice of freedom. So I think all of us have that,
mm,
and sometimes I know I've used it, and sometimes I've not used it, because I might be thinking about other people, about circumstances, about my roles, but that choice of freedom was have always been there inside me. That's how I relate to butterfly. And also, when butterfly sits on a flower,
mm,
so the relationship at that point of it is mere love,
mm,
mere love. So I think, you know in all my relationships, whether it's a personal relationship, or even professional relationship with my work, internal relationship of myself with work, with the work I do, I think when I feel that love, when I feel that oneness, I am in my happy stage.
mm,
I'm at my happy stage. And there are moments when I don't feel that. I'm not at my happy stage.
mm,
Something inside me, I still would be doing the work. I still
mm,
would be, carry on with those relationships, doing with, kind of my responsibilities and all that. But I think coming from responsibility is something which is not fully aligned with me.
mm,
Doing something with love is fully aligned. Even when I'm saying that, Shiva,
mm,
when I'm saying doing something with love is something which gives me peace, which tells me that I'm aligned in that space.
mm,
So all those things I relate to the metaphor of butterfly. And um, I think butterfly is not
mm,
limited to the limits.
mm,
And I have been like that,
mm,
so I have been, that's what the word explorer also, I have been like that, so I would never want myself to be limited, to be caged. And so whenever I felt that, there would be a rebel in me who would kind of, could will do some activity, and will set myself free at that point of time. At the same time, I will not expect anybody else to make me free at that point of time. And
mm.
that's where the doer comes in. I'll set myself free on my own.
As a butterfly, when it doesn't work, you can flit away.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. And the
yeah. So
freedom
I
and the
mean,
lightness of being, no?
yeah, lightness. And that lightness only comes with
Mm,
those moments when I'm saying that, I'm feeling aligned with love, and, with hope and optimistic space. So that's where it comes in, actually speaking. And I'm aware of that space. I think that
mm.
awareness is there. I may do other things in my life, but I'm aware that, that's not my happy space, and the other one is my happy space.
Well, that's very beautiful. It's
Yeah.
very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will. Now, whenever we talk, I will always think of the butterfly. So thank you for bringing that to life for
So
me.
there is a sticky on my desk, so which has a small symbol of butterfly, if you see. So
Yeah.
that's a reminder to me, actually speaking. It's just in front of my desk, actually.
It
So
doesn't let you get heavy. It doesn't let you get heavy.
yeah, there are moments when I need this reminder, and
Mm.
this small, crude picture which I have drawn, I'm not very good at drawing, is kind of a reminder to me at that particular moment that this is who you are. Let
Mm.
yourself free at this point of time.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing that with me and my viewers for this.
My pleasure.
Okay, so Manbir, looking at that, is there anything in your life do you feel you could have done differently?
Mm. Difficult question. That's why it is toward the last, is it?
I can't let you off the
Uh,
hook that easily, but you're a butterfly, you can flit away. No. Mm.
I don't think so, actually.
And I don't mean it in the sense of regret.
Yeah,
I just mean it in the sense of a reflection or a learning.
yeah, yeah.
Blameless discernment.
Yeah. I don't think so. When I look at my life, I guess, a lot of things which have happened and not so good things when I'm remembering. Because when you ask this question, your mind go to not so good things, right?
Mm,
Happy things we all want in our life.
mm, mm,
Those moments we don't want to let
mm,
go away those moments. So I guess, in hindsight, everything has worked out for me in the way it should have worked out for me ideally. So I won't say that I don't have any grudges towards, some circumstances or people. No, I have.
mm,
But at the same time, I think those relationships, those situations
mm.
have helped me to grow,
Absolutely.
have helped me to realize who am I. Even, when I was in corporate, I was kind of in that daily rat thing,
Mm,
rat race.
mm,
You're coming to office, you're working for 12, 14 hours
mm,
and going back. So I think all those things also, I was not an aware person at that point of time. But even that unawareness, I guess, being aware of that unawareness is also a great learning.
mm,
That has done a great thing to
mm,
me,
mm.
that to me, to who I am right now. I won't
Absolutely.
think, I'll change. Yeah, I'll change anything.
Being aware of the unawareness itself is a great thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Manbir, I believe every individual has a unique something that they have to offer mankind. No? Nobody else is Manbir Kaur, right? What is your unique gift to people, to all of us? What is the unique lens you bring that nobody else does because it's you?
So it's a combination of optimism and doing. So optimism not only for the sake of getting inspired, going to a motivational speaking session for 20 minutes and you get inspired and all that. That's okay. But if you're not deriving anything actionable out of those 20 minutes, then I think it's not worth it. It's not worth of having your 20 minutes there.
Mm,
So that action may not be immediate. I think
yes.
my gift is, I call it my superpower, is basically that combination of that doing with optimism is something, yeah, is my superpower. I'm a doer. I kind of, any situation, I don't accept, you know, things easily if I have to change things. So kind of keep trying, and you know, make a way there.
Wonderful. What else would you like to say before we close? Any message for people who are on a similar journey, such as you, or people who are starting out? What would you like to say to them?
I think, of course, as I said, doing things are very important. Um, Many people feel good in that space that, yeah, but if you don't take action, whether it not only professional action, I'm saying even in your personal space, we're waiting for tomorrow to take action. We are always waiting for tomorrow. That, even small things like that, I have to express love to my loved one. I'll do it on my anniversary. I'll do it on the birthday. I'll do it on, some that good day. I guess expression of love is very important, very, very important. Yeah. So, and that's where, I use it, this word as, you know, now I'm talking about love, but, if I talk in the professional language about success, taking charge of your own success. I mean, this may look like unrelated, but they are related. You're taking charge and expressing love. You're taking charge and moving on your success. Don't um, don't give these rights to other people. Own your own success, own your own path, and that path may have curves and turns. Those are yours. Those are not somebody else.
Mm,
It may sound like little philosophical, but when that curve is there, when that turn is there in that hilly area, if you don't take action, you will not be able to take that turn.
Mm.
You can't take that turn on the cruise control of the car, right? Cruise mode of the car.
Mm.
You have to take ownership and make that turn. And that turn is very important in your life, whether it's personal life or professional life. The turn is very important.
Mm.
Taking charge of that, your acceleration, your velocity, your movement at that turn is very important.
Wonderful. That is really powerful, Manbir, and thank you so much for sharing that with all of us. You never know who it's going to impact, whoever's listening to this, and how much perhaps they need to hear it right now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been wonderful talking to you, and for making the time for this Soul Brew. I have thoroughly enjoyed our conversation, Manbir, and all the very best to you as you journey on.
Thank you, Shiba. Thank you so much. It was wonderful being here with you today. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.